I think I was a different person before and after essay season. Like, I was a work in progress. We all are at all times in our life. And one thing that I'll kind of come back to is that Athena has really taught me to ask questions beyond the convenient whys and go into the things that are easier to leave unanswered. And that's something that Athena helped me do by asking me why when I didn't ask myself why. And I think I also became so much more familiar with statistics and how to conduct effective research that I just didn't know from school at all. And that was something I could not have learned anywhere else. Hi, I'm Anya. I went to Delhi Public School, RK-Puram, and now I'm going to Imperial College London for Biomedical Technology Ventures. I think we had our ups and downs in the start. There wasn't like the right fit immediately, but it came around to be this very good fit for me that got me going. It got me past the first step. When I met Khushbu ma'am, I was completely confused about what I was going to do with my profile. So she was just like, okay, you have this poetry that you've written, you have these poems, why don't you just put them together and publish anthology? And that's the first thing that we did. That's kind of almost like this milestone I look back at where everything just started happening one by one after that. We finalized the book. And then I had my APs and my research paper and everything just came together so perfectly. And I think it was just that puzzle piece situation that I needed to fall in, and pretty much the picture became completely clear after that. It has a lot to do with kind of just helping me think about what works for me. And I sat with Khushbu ma'am, we went over the college list so many times, where we're applying, where we ultimately want to go. And there was this consideration of what is the biggest factor that determines college for me. For some people it's the course, for some people it's the location and whatnot. I actually went around my decision a lot, where I'm applying everything. It was such a debate in my head, and ultimately it came down to Imperial because it was such a perfect fit for me. And it was the right course, it was the right timeline, everything just fell into place. And that all happened because Khushbu ma'am and I sat together, we did all that research, we found what made sense for the person that I was. I think the research paper was something that was particularly pivotal for me because I wasn't really challenging myself so much mentally before that. I wasn't asking the why that truly felt like I don't know this. And as soon as I would come to a question of I don't know this, I would just drop it. But working on the research papers, having Srishti ma'am ask me over and over, why are you doing this? What is the next step you want to take with this? Just made me cross that threshold and step into the questions that I was leaving unanswered. So after that research paper that I did on female urinary incontinence, I found myself going much deeper into the nitty-gritties of things, exploring topics at like a so much deeper level than I ever had before. And I feel like I became a better student and a better researcher after I did that project. On top of that, I think I also became so much more familiar with statistics and how to conduct effective research that I just didn't know from school at all. And that was something I could not have learned anywhere else. Most people start with their Common App essay, then do their PS, and then do their UCs or something of that sort. My Common App essay was actually the last thing that I did because I built it up so big in my head that, oh, this is the essay, this is the college essay, I have to get this right, that I put so much pressure on it. I kept trying to perfect it. I kept feeling that, oh, this isn't right. But working with Karthikeya sir, he was just like, this is beautiful, this is perfect. And he validated what I wrote in this manner that made me feel like it wasn't just empty validation, but there was real strength to my essay that made me feel like, okay, I've written something worth reading. I think I was a different person before and after essay season. Like, I was a work in progress. We all are at all times in our life. But before the essay season, there was a lot that I just hadn't bothered to introspect about myself. And one thing that I'll kind of come back to is that Athena has really taught me to ask questions beyond the convenient whys and go into the things that are easier to leave unanswered, to go into the questions that feel difficult to address, the areas that feel like, oh, maybe let's not go down that pothole, but you should. And that's something that Athena helped me do by asking me why when I didn't ask myself why. So the essay process was one big phase where I ended up doing that a lot over and over and over, and I found out so much about myself that now I can look at myself with so much more clarity. Every decision I make it with a lot more introspection and a lot more insight. Thought-provoking, very entertaining. It's always been. The office is the most fun place to go to. And brat summer-coated.